At the end of this video, I will give you a list of things to help you and your friends stay safe at a party because I don't want you to be the hunted and don't be the prey. You have every right to attend a get together or a party, but I just want you to know the warning signs. I want you to know when things start going wrong, like the warning signs that scream trouble is right around the corner, and you need to know these. We need to be wise like serpents because according to the Bible, Matthew 10:16, Jesus says, "Behold, I am sending you out like sheep in the midst of wolves. So be wise as serpents and innocent as doves." So be wise enough to stay out of harm's way and not fall victim to a sex predator. Because a girl's life can get ruined in a matter of minutes. If you watch enough deliverance sessions, deliverance is just a softer word for exorcism, which involves casting out demons. If you watch enough deliverance session, there seems to be an underlying cause of demonic oppression: sexual abuse. Because sexual abuse at any level opens doors to demons working in someone's life. It's a traumatic experience that can create a legal right for demonic oppression. Deep emotional and physical wounds can become access points to spiritual harassment, as well as an unholy soul tie, which is basically a spiritual bond between the perpetrator and the victim. But that's not the focus of this episode, Deliverance, all right? The focus is understanding who or what you are up against in the spiritual realm, as well as the physical realm, and how to stay safe. Now, I would suggest avoiding putting yourself or your girlfriends in harm's way. So stay away from these worldly parties, but the flesh is the flesh, and we love us a good party. I went to nightclubs Wednesday through Sundays. Down in Miami, there was a nightclub, a bar, or what have you, all week. And I went to raves every weekend. I traveled to different states just to go to different raves, different house parties, whatever. I did the drugs and whatnot. And I can tell you, I saw things I should not have seen, and how these things, they destroyed girls' lives, young girls. So girls, just play it safe. Stay away from these worldly get-togethers. You don't know who you're with. You don't know who's going to show up. Like I said, the flesh is the flesh. And if you would have told me this was going to happen, I would have done it anyway, because I needed to feel part of something. I needed to go to those parties. I needed that environment. But now I'm older, and now I worry about my daughter. And that got me thinking, I need to worry about you also. So you listen, you, the person listening, I need to worry about you also. In other words, maybe try to talk some truth to you, talk some sense into you. Whether you listen or not, that's up to you. Whether my kid listens or not, that's up to her. I pray she does. She's pretty good about things like that. Okay, so I ain't in this to judge you, because I was there. I want to make that clear. I'm not here to judge you. I was there. So here's the thing, and this is my opinion. Young girls today, they look more mature than the girls I was growing up in the 70s and 80s with. Like, I feel that obviously social media, the videos and makeup tutorials, they're all master classes. What the young girls are getting, what you girls are getting, these are master classes. They teach you how to look like really good, mature, glamorous, provocative, if I can use that word. And maybe you're not trying to look provocative, but it's a byproduct. And thinking back when I was growing up, the girls back then, they didn't have the means or know-how to come close to looking how you girls can look nowadays. So now it's your choice. It's your freedom to dress and look however you want. I'm not here to judge. I'm telling you, no one should judge. But what I will say is this. When a young, innocent girl just wanting to have fun and attend a party for the first time, right? You know, you're wanting to feel like part of something. When that girl crosses that line from a simple looking girl, like just a normal girl next door, to a glamorous looking girl, then knowingly or unknowingly, you're going to rile up the feelings of the young men. Hopefully it's not a sick, perverted man, but you're going to rile up these feelings. We'll call it chemistry. You're going to get that chemistry running high. And so guys, they have one thing on their mind. You probably heard it a million times from your dad or uncles or whatever, but the honest truth is, even though men want that, they have that on their mind, is it wrong for a man to want something beautiful and attractive? It's natural, right? Okay. But most men, they won't act on those feelings. They're too afraid of rejection, too afraid of the consequences, or maybe they were just raised right. But what about the ones that are like violent predators? No matter the age, young or old, just predators. What about those predators? Listen, I've been around them. From Miami, we got to see everything, especially in the 70s, 80s, 90s. I'm telling you, they know how to get a girl alone. They know when to attack. They know how to threaten a girl into submission. They wait for a girl to get buzzed, drunk, drugged, or alone. And God forbid, all of this, right? Girls, let me tell you, men may want sex. It's natural. But if you're faced with one of these predators and you say no, then what happens? Then what happens? Do you think they're going to back off if you're alone? So when a girl finds herself alone, like in a room at a party, and is scared for her life, then what? And I've heard so many stories, about this, like personally, one-on-one. Women tell me this, So let's go through some powerful steps that you girls, young women, you could follow to stay safe. And like I said, I've heard so many stories of girls being invited to a party and then regretting it, ever attending for the rest of their lives. And it bothers me when people blame the girl, which many people do. Not all, but many. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. Just hear me out. It's not your fault. But what if I told you, let's see, I'll come up with a good analogy. What if I told you to walk through a dark forest with me? And I told you that the forest was infested with wolves. And those wolves would tear you to shreds. And I said, hey, why don't you rub the wolf's favorite scent on you? Like, would you? It's whatever. It's a silly analogy. Excuse me. It's a silly analogy, but it's all I could come up with right now. So, but let's say the forest is the party and the favorite scent is it's like a revealing outfit. Hair done up, high heels, glamorous makeup. The wolves would go nuts. Now, is it wrong to dress how you want to dress? No. I'm not here to judge and say yes or no. But if you're going to dress like that and you put yourself out there, let's just get you and your friends some warning signs to look for. And it'll get you a list of tips to stay safe. Thinking about it, will a simple list keep you safe? I mean, who knows? I guess you've got to be wise as serpents, right? Because unfortunately, there are predators everywhere, not just at parties. The devil is sick and twisted. He doesn't stop working. It's like that one saying, there's no rest for the wicked. I understand that now. I mean, wicked people, they do not rest. The devil works through family members, okay. He works through teachers. Yeah, we hear these cases. He'll work through those you think are friends. I don't know, the list goes on. I mean, the devil can even work through women. They make friends with you and then they sell you off. We hear of that. You can't tell me that don't happen. And even those in high power, like in the entertainment world, in the music world, forget about it. And now I think of the men, excuse me, I'm thinking of the men, they're also getting abused by men nowadays, or maybe even all throughout history, I guess. But nowadays we're hearing more of this because, of social media. Just Look at the diddler guy, that P. Diddy guy, the diddler, and his freak parties. I mean, everyone's getting abused in some way. The predators might be enjoying it, right? They're obviously enjoying it. The predators, they're enjoying it. But the victims, after it's said and done, I mean, they're treated like an old rag from what I've heard of interviews from vocalists and artists, music artists, up and coming, and they were abused and then they were just thrown or shelved. What we call in the music world, you get shelved, means they record an album and you just get put on the shelf and you can't do anything about it. They get shelved after the abusers have their way sexually with them. But anyway, so like what would that do to a person's mind? Just think about it. And if you're a man and you had another man on top of you doing what they supposedly do at these parties, then what? Like, how do you go home after that? Like, how do you go home to that? Like, if you're a young girl and you just wanted to be part of the glamorous lifestyle, I get that, you know? And your friends invited you, and then you get abused. Like, you didn't want that. That's not why you went to that party, but you put yourself in harm's way, you know? Is it your fault? No. We're not talking about whose fault it is, because it's definitely not your fault. You wanted to have a good time, and you have every right to. There are other ways to have a good time. Now that I'm older, I could say that, but when I was young, forget it. You couldn't keep me away from these type of nightclubs and parties and whatnot. So I'm going to tell you a story. I think it was about 15 years ago. I forget, but about 15 years ago, when I was at the peak of my music career as a DJ producer, the diddler guy, P. Diddy, he had a party at one of our friends' villas in Ibiza. And I was in Ibiza to perform there. This was during the summer. I'd be there for like 2 or 3 months. And my manager at the time, she called me while I was in Ibiza. And I knew that party was going to happen, and I knew who was hosting it and whatever. And, a bunch of famous people were going to be there. And she said, "George, I don't want you to go to that party," right? And of course I knew what she was talking about. I knew there was a party, like I said. I knew the diddler was hosting it. She said, "I don't want you there." So she put me up in a hotel, and I was kind of like upset. And because I wanted to be part of the party, just like many of you listening would be like, yeah, let's do it, Doesn't mean we were going to do anything bad. Don't mean you're going to do anything bad, or you're looking for sex or whatnot. But, I mean, bad things can happen, especially to a young girl, bunch of predators. And like I said, there were celebrities there. And I didn't know it at the time, but thank God Almighty, in Jesus' name, I did not attend. Because our friend, I'm not going to say any names, our friend, he's the owner of the villa. After that party, he was never the same. At least that's what I noticed. He was never the same. I don't know what happened. I don't want to know. Maybe nothing happened. Let's just say that. But I'm just saying, I dodged a bullet. And looking back, it wouldn't have been worth going there. It's just like whatever, things come and go. But let me tell you something. Now, this is my opinion, okay? Again, all of this is my opinion. But like I said, I've been there. I've seen celebrities. And not all celebrities, but most of them. Man, I've seen celebrities. Not all of them, but they're a bunch of animals. They're like rats. And so we put them on high pedestals, like I did that night. And I was so upset because I couldn't go. I wanted to be around all those celebrities. I thought my career would skyrocket if I was around them. I could have, networked. But here's the secret for all of you. Those celebrities, they eat, they poop, and they sleep, just like the rest of us. So then I've always asked myself, why do we put them on pedestals? See, because thinking about it, when my daughter needed life-saving surgery, the surgeon and the doctors especially the nurses, that whole team, they became my heroes. And those are the real heroes. So if you want to attend these parties, these get-togethers, these nightclubs, whatever, listen, I'm not here to judge. Let's keep going because we're just starting. We're just getting started. So let's go through this list of how to stay safe. And feel free to add any, excuse me, life-saving tips in the comments. Just keep it clean. Don't be stupid. You know, this is serious. So, you know, give some serious advice here if you've been through it and whatnot. Keep everyone safe, even the guys, right? Because we want you to be safe. I'd rather you go worship Jesus. I'd rather you go to a worship rally, a house of prayer. And if you don't know where or how to do that, I'll tell you after we go through this list. So let's do this. Number one, buddy system. This is powerful, but only if the people you're with are your real friends. It's not someone you met a week ago, not someone calling you my best friend right away. Real friends. You look out for one another. You never let one friend leave to a room alone at one of these parties or nightclubs. Never. No one goes anywhere alone. No one goes anywhere alone, not even to the bathroom, because it's not a bad idea for one of you to stand outside and wait. Never leave anyone alone. Even if your friend says, I'm going to talk to this guy for a second, or I'm going to sit in the car with him, you say, no, you do that, we're leaving. So now I know that's easier said than done, right? Okay, you're in the party and blah, blah, blah. But if you've got the right group of friends, you'll have one or two of you, in other words. If you've got the right group of friends, one or two of you, you're going to be the strong ones in that group, and you'll step up and just shut it down. So real friends, never leave anyone alone. Number two, drink security. You never leave your drink unattended. I'm a guy and it happened to me. They dropped ecstasy in my drink. And it hit me hard, you know what I mean? And I would do like ecstasy at the raves and whatnot. It's different when you say you're going to do it. You take it, but when someone drops it in your drink, like just to see what happens or just to be ha ha ha, let's, you know, that's like, yeah, that's abuse, you know? So it happened to me. You see what I'm saying? So just don't accept drinks from anyone. I learned my lesson. If they're already open, don't accept the drink from anyone, because that thing was open and it was fizzing and I should have known there was something in there. Don't go to some communal bowl and start drinking fruit punch thinking it's harmless. It could be spiked. Okay, it could be spiked with liquor. Big deal. No, it could be spiked with other things nowadays. If you're going to drink, I guess bring your own. Be kind of cool to show up with a six-pack. But honestly, I prefer you don't drink at all. But if you do, be smart. Just be smart. If someone hands you a drink and you don't have the courage to say no because it's open, you don't have the courage like to say no, because I've been there. Just say you're on medication. Say you took something and you have to wait 6 hours before you drink, or you'll get sick and throw up all over the place. Hey, I'm going to throw up like on your carpet if, you know, I drink, whatever. I had some medication. What's the medication for? Just have something ready. Make something up. Have your excuses ready before you go. Number 3, trust your gut. This is big. If something feels off, just leave. Grab your friends. Don't leave them behind. Remember, tip number 1, you know, everyone, you stay together. Or your friends, they might say you're just being paranoid or you're overthinking. They'll be like, come on, you know, chill out. You've got to figure that one out. But if something feels off, just stand your ground. Better yet, before you even go to the party, make a pact. If one of you feels something is off, All of you leave. No arguments. Go somewhere else. Go get some food. Go to a restaurant. Do something safe. Number 4, have a ride planned. Have a way to get home before you even get there. Don't stay until you're drunk with no plan. Don't end up needing a ride from people you don't know. Either drive yourself, have a trusted ride, or have someone picking you up. Just don't wing it. And here's one that just came to my mind. You call your parents. Yeah, I know. Listen, that's a tough one. I would never call my parents. First of all, they'd be like, what are you even doing here? But if something feels off, just call them. Just say, Mom, Dad, I'm at this party. Something doesn't feel right. I didn't know this party was going to turn into this. Can you just pick me up? You meet them at the corner. I mean, maybe they'll get mad, but I don't know. Maybe they'll get mad, but that's just because they care. At least you'll know you've got parents that you can trust when it really matters. But that one's on you, all right? So after everything I've laid out, after the stories I told you, true stories, by the way, if you still want to get drunk and do drugs and ignore all of this, then that's your decision. But I'm going to say it straight. That's your problem. You do you. That's what Adam and Eve did. They did what they wanted to do. Genesis chapter 3, verses 1 through 24. It's the serpent questioned God's prohibition. Eve saw the tree was desirable. God's command, don't be part of that. The serpent's word, he says, go and have fun. You do you. You only live once, basically, right? You can be like, God's what he said and so and so. But here's the thing. God didn't give up on them, Adam and Eve, and us. He didn't give up on me, and he's not giving up on you. Because when Jesus was on that cross dying, he had you in mind. He died for the whole world. Let me tell you a story I shared with a young man during a consultation I had with him. He wanted to understand why the cross isn't. Now that we're talking about the cross, I feel like I should tell you a story. Because he wanted to know why the cross was so important to a true Bible-believing Christian, right? He was a new Christian, and he just wanted to know. I was always preaching the cross, the cross, the cross. He wanted to know what was so important about it. And I explained it like this. I said, you're a teenager. You're running with the wrong crowd. You're getting high, becoming rebellious. You come home late every night, 10, 11, midnight, whatever. And every night you see your father asleep on the couch, still in his work clothes. And you think, this guy's a fool. All he does is work. And I don't ever want to be like him. So you take money from his wallet every now and then, probably every night, every day. You go out again the next day. Same thing, same cycle. Then one day you're walking down the street in the daytime and you see a man working hard. The sun is beating down. He's lifting heavy things, climbing ladders, sweating, in pain, in the heat. And you think, man, I couldn't do that work. Poor guy. And then you look closer and it's your dad. You look closer and you're like, hold on, that's my dad. Let me ask you this. Do you go home that night and you steal from him again? Or do you beg for forgiveness? And what if he said to you, I know you've been taking money. I know you've been running with the wrong crowd. I know you're ashamed of me. And he tells you, but I do this so you have a roof over your head. And when I can't go anymore at my job, when I feel like quitting, it's the thought of you that keeps me going. And he says to you, I love you and I forgive you. What would you do? Because that's what Jesus did on the cross, man. He was beaten, disfigured, in pain, dying for you, for me, for all of us. And that's what I didn't understand until I surrendered my life to Jesus Christ. I was deep in it. into the sin, into the world, into wanting to be accepted, into wanting to be famous. And then when I went through deliverance, remember the exorcism, I couldn't even say the words, Jesus, thank you for dying on the cross for my sins. I couldn't say those words. I physically couldn't get the words out. And the deliverance team waited. I tried again, nothing. And then on the third try of saying, thank you for dying for my sins on the cross, I finally said it. And when I did, something broke. I broke down crying, bawling like a baby. And that day, things left me. Demons, evil, wicked spirits, all that garbage. And I've never been the same since. And I love Jesus and I will spread his gospel. And that's one of the reasons I started this channel. So if you're laughing, which I hope you're not, or you're dismissing what I said or ridiculing what I'm saying, it don't make me mad. It just tells me where you're at, because I used to be that same person. And if you want to change, get on your knees in a quiet place and say, this is what you're going to say. Jesus, if you are real, show me. Change me. I surrender to you. Forgive me for my sins. Take control of my life. That's what you say. And you watch what happens, because he is real. Let him work in your life. Then find a church, a real Bible-believing church. Pray and ask the Holy Spirit in Jesus' name to guide you. And I'm kind of hesitating to say what I'm going to say, but I'll say it anyway. Listen, stay away from certain teachings that lead you away from the truth. I don't want to offend anyone on this channel, but I would stay away from Methodists, Mormons, and Jehovah's Witnesses, or anything that feels like a cult. Just pray for guidance. Let God lead you to the right place. And so in closing, maybe you tell your friends, hey, that party this weekend? That party this weekend? Yeah. I'm not going. I've got better plans. God bless you. I'll see you in the next episode.